Hello! Justin here from Sindi샘TV, and today we have a really special student with us. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Lucia. Very nice to meet you. And I'm really happy that I'm being a YouTuber right now.
So, how long have you been studying English for?
Like 11 years.
11 years?
Yeah.
And what's your favorite thing about studying English?
And like, it's just amazing that I can speak one more language. The time goes by. I think I'm being more smarter.
Yeah, speaking a language definitely helps make you smarter, right?
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what book are we reading together now?
We're reading Sapiens.
Sapiens. Do you like this book?
Yeah, I love this book.
So what are some of the interesting things that we've learned so far? Well, first, I guess before we say that, I should tell everyone the book is Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. So we've gone all the way back to before Homo sapiens were even around, and we studied all the different kinds of humans that existed, and we've studied them up through the hunter-gatherer period when humans were foragers, and we're probably going to get past that pretty soon, but we're still studying about hunter-gatherers, right?
Yeah.
What's a hunter-gatherer?
Like people who find food to eat to live. Like very ancient Homo sapiens.
Right. And so, what are the two ways that they get food? Hunting and
hunting and gathering.
So what are some of the interesting things we've learned about hunter-gatherers?
Before I read this book, I thought like these modern sapiens are better than ancient like hunter-gatherers, but they were living like much better life than us.
Oh yeah. In what way were the hunter-gatherers' life better?
Like for example, like I read this. It's from this book. So for example, like Chinese people, they wake up at like 6 or something, and they go to factory,
right?
And they work same thing for like more than 5 hours. Like
yeah, more than
like,
10 hours.
10 hours.
Yeah.
And then they go, and then they walk very straight, and they go back to home and they feed their children. But hunter-gatherers, they weren't doing like that. They were like
Like how many hours a week did they have to work? Or how many hours a day, or whichever way you remember it?
Like 2 days, like 3 days, once per 3 days.
Oh, once per 3 days they hunted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then how much time did they spend during the day gathering? Do you remember?
Depends.
Right, it depends on the place.
Yeah.
But it was nowhere near 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how about their diet? Did they have good food?
Yeah. They used to eat very variety nutrients. So they were kind of healthy, like comparing to modern sapiens.
Right.
Because we eat a lot of junk foods.
Right. Yeah. So they had a healthy diet. They didn't work that much. Was it all good though?
No.
No.
They could be killed.
Yeah. And eaten by tigers. Yeah. Yeah, this book has a whole list of horrible things that happens to hunter-gatherers, and we kind of skipped over it because it's too bad. And last week we were studying about the kind of religion that they might have had, right?
Yeah.
And what is that kind of religion called? Do you remember? It's
animism.
Good, animism.
Yeah.
So what's animism?
Like thinking that all creatures are equal, like
right.
even rocks,
right.
trees.
And like, does everything have desires and wills and wants and like you have a soul, yeah. And you have things that you want, right?
Yeah.
For an animist, is that the same for a rock?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about for a dog?
Yeah.
Right. And are we all equal?
Yeah.
Right. So, who's better for an animist, a human or a dog?
They were equal.
Right. And after they killed an animal, then what did they do?
They pray
Right. And say,
thank you for this food, and
Right.
we're so sorry to kill you.
right. Right. And then what happened when we got theism? Or first, what's theism?
It's like a believing God. Like God
Right.
is upper than us,
Uh-huh.
and animals are under than us.
Right. So like then when we started becoming theistic, then we started to feel like, okay, well, and God is above us,
Yeah.
so then maybe something's below us.
Yeah.
Right. So like, okay, animals are below us. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a good summary. So the way that we've been reading this book is she has been reading it alone at home. She'll read a chapter. Then when we come together, we'll look at kind of the most interesting and difficult concepts, read about them, and talk about them together. So she's already read all of this, but we haven't talked about it yet.